Hey y'all, I'm going to talk to you today about another book that I wrote. My third most important book that I wrote about 2 years ago. My first most important one was Abortion is Murder. Second most important was Alcoholism and Codependency by Davis-Bedrick. Look it up on Amazon. My third most important one was Homosexuality is Gay, which the title was kind of a joke because gay is not a good thing to do. What I wanted to say about it is I think that's one reason for my current separation from my baby daddy. I'm pretty sure that he's gay, and this is why it's something that needs to be addressed in our modern society, because there's so many families that break up because of this. Marriages that break up, kids that don't get to have a father, kids who don't get to have a mother. And I know the main cause is porn. I knew a woman at a Pentecostal church. Her testimony was that she was lesbian at one point in her life, and she said that it was her dad's porn that made her become lesbian, because checking out the women in porn, I guess. Anyway, so the porn epidemic really needs to end because it's causing a homosexual revolution, but I would call it an epidemic, and that is causing families to be destroyed. That's causing kids to not have both their mom and their dad, because either the mom or the dad decide at some point, oh, maybe it would be more fun to be gay for whatever reason. And I think a big cause is that men just get tired of women, or women get tired of men, or they're too pissed off at the opposite sex, and they think that if they hook up with the same sex that'll solve all their problems and they'll live happily ever after, which is ridiculous. Nobody lives happily ever after. Nobody's going to be the perfect partner. Nobody's going to meet all your needs. Nobody's going to do everything that you want them to do. So don't believe that lie, men and women, if you're in a heterosexual relationship. Maybe Satan's telling you that lie, that if you hook up with the same sex partner, that they're going to meet all your needs, that they're going to be the perfect mate. No. Nobody is a perfect person. You can't find a perfect person anywhere in the entire world. So don't think just because you can't find the perfect man or woman, that then you should find the perfect whatever friend that then becomes your lover. No. And I've heard that there are more domestic violence cases in homosexual relationships than heterosexual, so there's a good reason to never do that. Why? I think because of the shame, because probably both people feel convicted, they probably shouldn't be doing that, So then they feel guilty, and that causes more arguments and more fights, and probably God is constantly that still small voice in your head, I'm sure God is constantly trying to whisper to them, this isn't right, you shouldn't do this, but they do it anyways. And then they're mad at themselves, but then they take that anger out on each other, right? We all do that. We all have things that God tells us, don't do that. And then we get mad at ourselves. And we take that anger out on other people, And sin begets sin. Sin causes more sin. So you sin, you feel bad. For example, my sin was yelling at my ex because I suspected that maybe he was gay and he wanted a man instead of me. So I started getting mad, obviously, about that, And I was yelling, and then you yell once, you feel guilty, you feel shame, and then that guilt makes you mad at yourself, and then that anger at yourself causes you to mess up again and do whatever your particular sin is again, So watch out for that. Watch out for that guilt cycle. I heard about that in a sermon once. It's a guilt cycle. The more you sin, the more guilty you feel, and then the more you sin. Because guilt causes you to sin, because you feel like crap. And you're one phrase I've always heard of is if you feel ugly, you're going to act ugly. Whether on the outside or the inside. If you feel like your heart's ugly, you're going to act ugly. Or on the outside too. If you feel like you're ugly, you're going to act ugly. So watch out for that. Anyways, y'all should go check out my book, Homosexuality is Gay by Davis-Bedrick, on Amazon. I'm sure it will be one of the most interesting books you've ever read. And maybe it could save the world. God bless. Bye.